Radical.
So there is this female comedian that is called Michelle Batu. And when I say comedian, I use that term very loosely, because this is a comedian that did not make me laugh. In about 3 minutes is all I could stand of listening to her comedy. Now, usually you can tell within a couple minutes if somebody is funny or not, if they're just not funny. And this female is not funny. Michelle is not funny, I can assure you. And I'm a person that has amazing comedic taste. Bill Hicks, George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, 3 of my favorites. All of them are masters of their craft. Only one of them is currently with us, but all of them are masters of their craft. I myself have a history on YouTube of making people laugh. That's the key point of a comedian, is to make people laugh by any means necessary. But Michelle Batu is one of these new comedians, these new type comedians that are about not offending anyone. Being funny without being offensive. Well, see, that's the problem is if you come out of the gate and you're afraid to offend people, then you can't, I'm not saying you can't be incredibly funny, but if you have that built in and you're afraid, you can't have fear in comedy. Because in comedy, we're holding a reflection up to ourselves as a society. And you can't be afraid to make fun of certain aspects of current society. Every comedian in their time made fun. And maybe we've evolved past certain things, but I don't think we have evolved past common sense. Let me explain here. Just putting this out there. And many of you might hate me for what I'm about to say, and that's perfectly fine. I feel like Caitlyn Jenner is not a female. Caitlyn Jenner was Bruce Jenner. I use this as an example because it always seems to work fairly well. Bruce Jenner decided out of the blue to become a female really late into their life. And I do not acknowledge that person is a female. If I even saw that person, I might refer to them as Bruce. Well, maybe not. I would say, hello, Caitlyn. How's your day going? And then maybe I'd snicker like, something like that. Or I would try not to. I would try to be respectful. But I don't think you have to be. I think you could ask that person, hey, what's the deal? You were Bruce, now you're Caitlyn. What happened? Had you been Caitlyn your whole life and was you hiding it, or just you come out of the blue one day and decide, you know what, I'm Caitlyn. I'm going to tell people that I'm Caitlyn Jenner, and that's what's going to happen. I could also talk about the GameStop ma'am, which is hilarious also. It's comedy. It's funny. And I don't see what the problem is making fun of that particular situation, especially when big, burly, brawn, athletic men start putting on wigs and makeup and getting implants and then going by different names well into their life. Not early on, when you would think, that would kind of like determine or whatnot, but spend your whole life as a man and then you suddenly want to be female. Even some of these people fathered kids and then, hey, you know what? I'm a female. Like, you can't question that. Now, it's dangerous to question that. If you're a comedian, it's dangerous, this person said. This person that called out Dave Chappelle. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry about that. I'll stay on topic here. A fellow comedian, in the same way Ja Rule is a fellow rapper to Eminem, in the same way Ben Simmons is a fellow NBA player to Steph Curry, in the same way I'm a chef compared to Emeril Lagasse, I can't fucking cook. This person, Michelle Batu, who I've never heard of before, is calling out Dave Chappelle, even though she's not funny at all. She's calling out one of the funniest men currently alive, who currently many people call the GOAT of comedy. I'm Rick, so you know what I hear a lot of the time? For the past 20 years, when people walk by and they realize my name is Rick, or they find out they ask me what my name is Rick. What's your name? Oh, I'm Rick. I'm Rick James, bitch. That's one of the best sketches of all time. Chappelle Show will go down in history as one of the best. It was, Chappelle Show was the highest selling DVD of its time. Did any of you know that? Yeah. But Dave Chappelle didn't just stop with Chappelle Show. He had comedy before then. He had specials during that time. And now he makes some of the best comedic specials currently available on Netflix. There's a lot of trash on Netflix. There's a lot of trash comedy specials that aren't funny on Netflix. But the minute there's a new Dave Chappelle comedy that drops, I'm the first one to check it out. And I'm not checking it out because I'm a transphobic person. I'm not checking it out because I'm aching to see what Dave Chappelle is going to say about the trans community. I check it out because he's a funny guy. And I think he was legitimately shocked at all the people coming out against him, saying that he's dangerous. Dangerous even. I just can't get over that. Well, this is her comments about Dave Chappelle. And she also has a Netflix special, as I mentioned. And she's apparently a big deal in comedy because she's the first female to host, I think, Radio City something. Radio City, I don't know. She said he is the GOAT, if that means going off about trans people. So right there, that first sentence, I have an issue with that. She's belittling Dave Chappelle by saying he's the GOAT, but that he needs to go off against trans people to be the GOAT. If that's what she's insinuating, fuck her. All right, just fuck you, And first, who is she? Like, that'd be Ja Rule coming out against Eminem and his rapping skills. Who the fuck is this bitch to call out Dave Chappelle? And after reading this, he's probably like, who the fuck is this bitch? She said, Dave, it's not funny. It's dangerous. Make it funny. That's all. I can't believe somebody would make millions and millions of dollars for making people feel unsafe. That is so wild to me. I want to make millions and millions of dollars for making people feel safe, seen, secure, heard, and entertained. What are we doing? Again, who the fuck is this bitch to call out Dave Chappelle? The nerve of this bitch. She wants to make millions of dollars for making people feel safe, seen, secure. She's saying, listen, here's how we can do it, Dave. Here's how we can do it. You don't have to do those transphobic jokes. You don't have to have that edgy comedy. You could have comedy that's not edgy. Butter knife comedy. Butter knife comedy. No edges at all. And you can still make millions and millions of dollars. That's not the point. If you practice your craft, and if you have to insult some people and make people feel a little bit, and it's part of your comedic craft, that's been comedy for several decades. If it's part of it, it's part of it. You can have stand-up that's not insulting of anybody, but if that's your particular style, then that's your particular style. It is what it is. That has been comedy for generations. Insulting people, making fun of people, things, and situations. These are parts of the craft used by a master craftsman like Dave Chappelle. But he's not hateful in his comedy. I don't think he's dangerous or hateful. I think people are laughing. And that's what the problem is so many people are laughing at his stand-up. And whenever people laugh at his stand-up, it makes people pissed off, like Michelle Boutour. It makes her pissed off. And she thinks by this paragraph right here, she puts herself on a higher moral standing. Like, Dave, I can make people laugh. I can make millions making people laugh. I don't have to resort to that transphobic comedy. And these people would make it think like that's his whole stand-up special. Like, that's everything. Like, they're trying to belittle him down to that. And he keeps coming back, basically, at these people in his stand-up specials because, well, I would too. Why would you, if you're the go-to comedy, why would you even entertain the idea of stopping making jokes, whether it be about one group of people, another group of people, different situations. If you're a master craftsman, then you should keep crafting the way you craft. And I think the problem is Dave Chappelle is making a whole lot of common sense. He's making lots of sense through his jokes. And that's what's really offensive, is the fact that he is making so much sense. That's what offends that. But I'm going to move on to what else she says here. Okay. She also says, she said about her kids, and I don't know how old her kids are. I'm going to look this up real quick. Give me a moment. Bear with me. Okay. So she has twins. Looks like they are, and she welcomed them in 2019. All right. So they're 5 years old. The twins are 5 years old. Now here's what's shocking about her. This is all you need to know about her. Her twins are 5 years old each. She says, I have boy-girl twins until they tell me otherwise, because mama is inclusive. And the crowd cheered. That's part of her special. Let's love and evolve, motherfuckers. Ooh, that's edgy. Ooh, she said motherfuckers. All right. Now, I'm not a parent. I don't have any children that I know of. But I'll say, if I had twins that were 5 years old and they came up to me, let's say they were same situation, a boy and a girl, and they said, I'm the boy and I'm the girl, and it was not the ones that were born a boy and a girl, I would question that. If one got daddy's clippers and buzz cut her hair and the other one put on a wig and they switched a dress into different clothes, I would immediately question that, because they're fucking 5 years old. What the hell do they know? They're 5 years old. There's insanity right now because we have people like Michelle Buteau that are terrible parents because they say they're going to allow their 5-year-old kids to go ahead and tell them what they are till they tell you otherwise. Well, what happens, Michelle Buteau? Are you so inclusive that if they want to get gender reaffirming surgery at 5 years old, are you fine with doing that? This is the kind of stuff that I think in comedic specials is open territory. If Dave Chappelle could make it funny, this situation, if he could have a clap back to this Michelle Buteau, and really she doesn't even deserve any kind of clap back or recognition, Dave, she really does not, then I would bring that up. You know, I think he has kids, I believe. I would bring that up. That is some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I mean, seriously, that tells you everything you need to know about this person. It's not dangerous to have comedy that makes fun of situations and people in unique situations. Dave talks about how, you know what, it's just a funny situation. You're a guy born as a man with man parts, and you are trying to be a female, and you're wanting to be a female. It's a funny situation. Now, me openly, I'll stop y'all right now if you think that I'm a hateful person. I do not hate trans people. I do not hate gay people. I do not hate anyone unless they give me a reason to hate them. I'm loving of everybody. I'm accepting of everybody, except when it goes against my own common sense. Does that mean I openly will call someone out if they tell me that they're a female and I clearly see that they have a bigger bulge than I do? No, it does not. I will play along and I'll smile because I honestly just do not. I want to avoid long conversations and yelling matches with people that tell me I need to gender affirm them. I suggest you do the same. Not because you believe it, but I'm telling you, it's going to save you a lot of time and hassle. Because if a person has committed to making themselves into a female. There ain't nobody in the world that's going to tell them any different. And they'll chase you down, they'll get in their car, they'll follow you around just to tell you, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, okay? Just because I was born as a man doesn't mean I have to be a man my whole life. And if you see them the next year and they're back to being a man, I'm like, whoa, I thought you was a female. Let me tell you something. If I want to switch back and be a male, I can be a... I don't know how those... Let me tell you something. If I want to switch back and be a male, I'll be a male this year. I'll be a female next year, damn it. And I'm like, okay, hey, I'm not going to argue with somebody. I'm not going to argue with somebody about what they are. But in my mind, where it matters, I'm going to know what they actually are. And there's so many people that don't understand scientifically on the science. You literally cannot become a female scientifically on the basis of science. Any of you take science in school, you take science honors, you cannot become a female. It's virtually impossible to fully become a female. Same thing. If you're born a female, you cannot become a man. It is not possible. We have insanity right now where, did you see the Olympics? I talked about Imane Khalif, the two male-born with the male chromosomes that easily in the boxing matches whooped up on the born females. We have right now, and you remember the swimmer who easily won the competition because guess what? They were born a male. Now, don't you think it's ripe for comedy to have comedy about those types of situations? But does it mean you're hateful because you're just making comedy, making fun of people, places, things, situations, as comedians have always done? So how about this, Michelle Batu? Shut the fuck up and just appreciate the GOAT while you can. And maybe you can take some tips and study him and why he's funny and maybe help your craft because, bitch, you ain't funny. And this isn't funny, calling him dangerous.